certainly not going to plan tonight for Norwich, Rob.
No.
But you have to give credit to Luton. That they've managed the game really well. They set their stall out in terms of how they wanted to approach the game. And you have to give them the credit. They deserve to be where they are so far.
Yeah, I think so. Out of possession, they defend as a compact unit. Basically, sometimes there was 6 at the back.
Yeah.
And mainly it's like a back 5-4 with just a lone striker. Even a lone striker's 10 yards in his own half.
We heard Forbesy say before the game about how they would try and get themselves a couple of goals and then defend like they know they can. So that's been their approach. They've conceded 1 goal in terms of a penalty, but you know what they do is they turn Norwich early defensively, don't they? And then once they do get those goals up, they are very disciplined in terms defensively. And again, making it difficult for Norwich to play through those areas. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, like we said, with a lot of teams this year, when Buendia or anyone, Tete, Skip, whoever gets the ball in this area, to try and find it's like through an eye of a needle at times. Where it's so compact.
So they're bringing them back almost as like this, and there's a 6, and just stopping those areas there, aren't they?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
They're not deep.
No, they're not deep. I think when Norwich, they're happy to drop deep, but not like on the edge of the box. But here that is their line. But they're so difficult to penetrate with passes and whatever, and that's where you're probably missing the cuteness of a Pukki and having a recognised striker playing up there, because I think. I think Plaqueta is the one that's mainly playing as a striker. He's alternating with Stiepermann, and they want to drop deep in situations like this. They don't see situations, well, I'm just going to try and get between defenders and have that little ball if one does come through. They're always trying to look at balls into feet, and even if they get the ball into their feet, this one's snapping from this side, and it's so difficult.
But when you look at a team and they set up against you like that, and they do defend well against you like that, and you get a little bit of joy, you've got to have a plan B to work out how to get past that. Yeah. And we said about Huffer. And he did, he did for the goal. For Paqueta's goal, it was an early ball over the top, and that's a way of doing it, because they will stay high as a defensive line.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So perhaps going a little bit earlier, rather than the measured play they try and do and slot people through, is it a case of going a little bit earlier, a bit quicker to turn them, like they've done to us?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what they are doing to us. You know what I mean? They know their limitations. I think today is the first time that Sorensen's had a proper right winger up against him in Jordan Clark. He gave the foul away for the second goal that conceded, but Clark wants to be against him. And what Luton are doing, they're getting the ball, and once they get under control, they're looking for these areas here because they see that as an area where Norwich can be vulnerable.
To get onto set pieces, because they have been dangerous from them. We saw from the goal as well. And we talked about this once we looked at the goal again, and even before the ball was crossed in, bearing in mind it's not a corner, it's from a wide area out here. You've got every single Norwich defender inside the 6-yard box. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously not to scale, but they're all in here, aren't they? Yeah. For me, is your goalkeeper needs to clear them out a little bit, because they don't defend that deep when the ball's on the corner. So were they too deep defensively? He had nothing to be able to come out and attack.
Listen, we're not goalkeeping coaches. We're not goalkeepers. You mean we don't even confess to be goalkeepers?
You had a little goal once.
Yeah, no, but we won't talk about that. But when you see them lining up for that free kick, they were all on the 6-yard line or just inside the 6-yard line, so they're probably about 5 yards away from the goal. That says to me that my goalkeeper wants a defender to head it, rather than saying push up between like the 6-yard line and the penalty spot, so you're 9 yards, 10 yards away from my goal line, and saying, if it comes in my area, I'm going to come and punch it, whatever. If it comes like that, that's your job.
But it's much harder for a winger or a person who's taking the free kick, if everybody's up higher, to find the right type of ball. Yeah. If you've got everybody sat in the 6-yard box, you just know, alongside we're pitting around that area, there's a chance we're going to get something on it.
Absolutely. And the guy that won the header, he ran from around this area. Sorensen was actually his marker. But again, they're defending so deep. If a Luton player gets a header on it and it's on target, it's a goal. Because no goalkeeper in the world can react to a ball, and it was a good ball in, and it was a good header. If he's heading it from like 10 yards, 12 yards, then you'd like to think the goalkeeper's got half a chance here to save it. But that was the immediate reaction for me. They were too deep, they defended too deep, and it was a case of goalkeeper saying, I ain't coming for this, one of you got to header it. And obviously it was a good cross, it was a good bit of movement from far post to the middle of the goal. Yeah. Clean header, free header, middle of the goal.
We'll talk to someone that's going to be pretty happy at the moment, and that's Adrian Forbes. Forbes, as you said before the game, it's kind of gone to plan for you, isn't it? You said you wanted to get your team a couple of goals in the game and then sit back defensively, and it's kind of worked perfectly for you.
It certainly has. And, when we spoke before, I said about the importance of making sure that we stay quite tight and quite compact, knowing that Norwich are going to have a lot of the ball, and also knowing that Norwich have players like Wendy and like Placheta that can actually counter-attack quite quickly. But with our setup, we have managed to keep a really good shape and almost playing a 4-1-4-1. We've been difficult to break down and have kept Norwich having the ball in front of us. But it just shows, as soon as we have scored a very, very good goal through George Moncur, Norwich go up the other end and get a penalty, which was definitely a penalty. So we can't take anything for granted going into the second half. We have got the lead with 2 good goals, but we've still got to be mindful of the quality that Norwich have.
But in terms of the way Luton set up and how they were trying to stop Norwich, that's worked perfectly well. The only time they have been caught out was with that longer ball over the top. So would that be expected to see something a bit more from Norwich in the second half to try and break Luton down a bit quicker?
Yeah, I think so. I think, at the moment, our shape and our structure is working, and it has been very difficult for Norwich to break us down. But what you do also know is actually they've got players in there that can do something different. They've got players in there where they can actually stretch play if they need to, or actually can try and find their way through. So we've got to be mindful of that and make sure that doesn't happen. But the flip side of that is, I'm pretty certain that the boys that are in that Norwich dressing room will be getting a little bit of a rocket maybe from the manager, and will come out all guns blazing and try and take their game to Luton in the second half.
And tell me if I'm wrong, Forbes, a manager will pick out the weaknesses of a team. When he's looked at the Norwich side tonight, and we've seen already Luton are looking to go, not direct because they're playing some great football, but they're looking to go forward early into those corners, into those wide areas to perhaps prick a few free kicks up, because they know that Norwich can be vulnerable from set pieces and wide areas.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's, the one thing I'll say is certainly with Championship football and the quality and the analysis teams and things that Norwich, Luton, and so many other teams have behind the scenes now, every team will know exactly how every team plays and how to exploit certain gaps. And you look at today, both teams have found almost a way where they can look to stretch the Luton team, but also from Luton's point of view, we found a way that we can potentially affect, shall we say, Norwich. So certainly looking at the second half, it's going to be very interesting to see how both teams come out.
And Forbes, just very quickly before we let you go, how do you expect to see Luton approach this second half? Will they sit back down defensively, or will they continue to try and play the same way and try and get another goal?
No, we'll continue to play. I think, the way the manager is and the way we are as a club, we'll continue to play. And we're on our patch. We're at Kenilworth Road, so we've got to go and take our game to Norwich. Yes, we have got the lead, and yes, we've got 3 points at this moment in time. We want to build on that, and we want to try and make us secure. And by doing that, getting another goal will obviously help us with that. So fingers crossed we can come out positive again and see if we can get ourselves another goal.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, Forbes. We'll speak to you soon. It feels weird to hear him say we've got 3 points so far when he's talking about Luton, because we expect him to talk about Norwich when he's with us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think he's spot on. Luton won't change their style of play. They're compact, out of possession. They defend in numbers. They're making it very difficult, but they are a threat, and they know there's weaknesses not so much down the right hand side, but down the left hand side. They know if they put balls in the box, it will be a threat, because I think Gibson and Hanley have had a tough time up against their striker Collins.
Yeah.
He's physical and whatever and he wants to compete with them. Whereas you get strikers and they think, well, these two are two aggressive centre halves. I think he relishes it. So Luton won't change. They don't have to change the style of play because they look so solid out of possession, but they still look a threat when they've got the ball.
Yeah, well, it is time now for our next edition of Teammates. Here's Michael McGovern.
Todd's very skillful. Max Aarons is very skillful. He gets himself out of a lot of tricky situations in the games. But probably Emmy is probably the most skillful player in the team. Marco Stieberman, just because of his ability to the ball in the half turn, he has he's got that knack down the tee, and when he gets in between the lines and the pass is right, he has a great first touch and turn on him. O'Neill's very strong. Alex is strong, but probably Grant Hanley. I think Shemi and O'Neill have had discussions about this, and they both think they're quickest, but I think Shemi. Grantley, he is a big runner. I'd say Kenny. Kenny's a funny lad. He's a bit he's later in change room, and He's good crack. The worst. Zembo wears a few questionable open neck jumpers. Toddy wears some clothes which are individual to him, and some people might not like them, but I think they're okay. There's a few. Probably say Christoph Zimmerman. Mario Vrancic is very preened.
Always nice to get an insight as ever. Now we're going to hear from Darren Huckerby again. Hucks, to join us again. What have you made of that first half so far? Have you been disappointed with Norwich's approach, or are you just going to give credit to Luton because they played well?
Yeah, it's kind of been a nothing game. Both teams look pretty good in possession. We've not really created much in open play, but nor have they really. I think the biggest disappointment for us was the way we dealt with the two set pieces. The first one, we let them play it dead quick, and obviously it's a good finish, but defensively you'd be a bit disappointed. Second one, it's a good ball in the box, but it's a free header from 6 yards out. So I think the biggest worry would be that set pieces we've looked a bit vulnerable, but it's an open game. We've looked okay on the ball, but it's been nothing special. Both teams just look okay on the ball.
Yeah, and you just said about the set pieces there. Norwich have been decent with set pieces over recent weeks as well. And I know we can't expect that to happen every single time, but is it an area where Luton would have looked at previously to the game and said, right, they might be on it at the moment, but they are vulnerable at times. And with a new goalkeeper coming in who's not played that many games, is that an area that you think they would have picked out?
I think definitely last season, but I think this year with Hanley and Gibson, they're both decent in the air. I think it was just a really good delivery for the second goal. I think the first goal was the one we're disappointed with though, because we switched off, let them play a quick free kick, and then it was a good finish, but we should have dealt with it a little bit better.
And going forward, Hux, I mean, what can we expect to see from Norwich in the second half? Because Pichetta, we've seen him in flashes today, and actually from wide areas, he's got some decent balls into the box, but he's not had much to hit, has he? Because he's the one who's playing the centre forward. When he's going into those wide areas, we've seen Buendia in there on the odd occasion, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's not been great going forward. I think Buendia's looked quite tidy on the ball. Had a long range shot that was unlucky. But we are missing the centre forward. Stiepermann's doing his best, but he's not really in the game. He's a bit like Saturday, really, where against Coventry he was in and out. He didn't really make his presence felt up front. And we are missing the centre forward. So it'll be interesting whether he brings one of the young lads on or he will stick what he did last game. But like I said, last game we were winning. This time we've got to go and get something. So it'll be interesting to see if he brings one of the young lads on.
Yeah, we talked about that before, and it's sometimes age isn't a problem. If you've got a player who plays naturally as a centre forward, he knows the runs to make, he knows the different types of things to do as a natural centre forward, and that's probably something Norwich are clearly lacking at the moment. Yeah,
we're definitely missing that outlet. If we're going, someone who's going to hold the ball up, someone who people can link with. I think it's different this game because we are going to have to go and try and win the game or get back in the game. I think at Coventry we were just hanging on there, bring Zimmerman on, and hopefully just defend what we've got, but. We're losing the game. We've got to go out and get something. And like I say, Luton have played pretty well, but on paper we are a much better team than them. So we've got to take it. We've got to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, and we've got to get something out of it.
Okay. And in your opinion, Hugs, what do you expect to see second half? Do you expect to see any changes, or if they don't, get back into the game in the first 10 minutes, do you expect to see maybe 2 or 3 substitutions? We haven't seen too many substitutions from Daniel Farke yet, considering you are allowed to use 5. I know they've not got that many on the bench, but they can use 5 substitutes.
I think if we're losing the game, we're going to have no choice because it'll be silly just to try keep doing what we're doing when it hasn't been working. So, I'd like to say give it 10 minutes, and if nothing's changed, then he's going to have to bring a bit of youth on, a bit of inexperience that's going to run around and put people under pressure. We're going to have to mix up a little bit because even though we haven't played that bad first half, we haven't really created anything apart from the penalty. So, it's up to us to change that.
Yeah, cheers, Hux. Thanks very much. We'll speak to you again after the game. He's kind of summed up there a little bit, isn't it, in terms of the approaches. It's not been a disaster for Norwich by any stretch of the imagination, but they've got to find a way back into this game, which is difficult when you probably haven't got those flair players going forward that you can call upon on the bench. But is that a chance for a youngster?
Yeah, it is. I totally agree with Darren there. There's nothing been exciting in Norwich's offensive third. It's also fizzled out, and whether it's been a bad cross and whatever. Luton have just snuffed it out. But like you say, it's very difficult. You're playing in a team without a recognised striker. And like he's just said, then we're chasing the game. Saturday we were trying to save the game. We're chasing the game now, and he's got to seriously think about bringing a number 9 on that will have that youthful enthusiasm. They will know what a number 9 does, where to run and where as well. And like you say, you mean sometimes like a youthful, exuberant youngster coming on, it causes problems because they don't know what they're about.
We're going to have to get into the second half, mate.
It's
time for the second half. And at the end of the programme, we're going to show you the goal of the month winner as well. Enjoy the second half.
I've been swimming at night. She's been calling to me. Hold my breath in the pool, but she's been underwater in the Indian Sea. I've been doing it right. Can't forget what she said. When you're finished with you, babe, you should come and find me in the Sea of Cortez. The way that my heart is, the way that the sea. She'd been living a dream. There's a blanket of cool water